Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday morning, December 11th. And we're looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And for my money's worth, the bulls are starting to test the bears' patience a little bit. As yesterday, gapping lower, testing the bottom of a now 8-day balance, only to roar back into the lower distribution. Again, all they did was spend yesterday in that total lower distribution. And now this morning, looking right above and below yesterday's low, right above the previous all-time high, and getting into the gap here in the overnight. As you can see, they filled the gap in the overnight. That doesn't mean anything. But again, I've said this in the past. You fill this gap, come back out, back into this balance, I don't have a problem. You get accepted back into the start of this big 14-day balance from the previous all-time high, and the bulls attempting fate to look down towards the 350 level. So let's go to the other indices first. Now, Russell, we're the weakest of them so far this morning. There's still 75 minutes to go. But right now, the Russell firmly in a 3-day balance. Right now, everything they worked so hard for yesterday, look at how everything was done above half back yesterday. Well, right now, we're below half back. So they're going to test possibly, again, there's 75 minutes to go. A lot can change. They had a very nice buy tail yesterday. Right now, they're right at where it starts. We'll see if that holds or not. Triple Qs, same thing. Look, here's half back. Here's where all the business was done. These were P-shapes yesterday. That short covering eventually makes the market weaker. Doesn't mean it has to be the next day. Triple Q, same thing. They have a very nice buy tail. They're also starting to trade into it. And the SPY, we had a nice buy tail, and as of right now, we've taken it all back in the pre-market. Does that hold? Remains to be seen. So destinations and a game plan for this morning. So if we gap lower, we'll give downside on both sides of the equation. If we gap lower, yesterday's low of 364.43 would be your first upside destination. Then we would have our overnight high of 360. Well, actually, the 11 wide was going to be a downside. Well, right now, it's an upside destination of 366.71. We were 11 wide here yesterday. Then our overnight high of 367.45 and yesterday's high of 367.86 for the downside. If we do not gap lower, then we'll have yesterday's low of 364.43. That afternoon pullback low right now of 365.75 looks to be taken out. Again, if we in the next hour or so we open above it, we'll still keep it. But for now, it looks like it's going to be taken out. So 364.43. Then we have the daily low of 364.20. That's right here. We never got it from the yesterday. We just missed it, right? Then we have the gap fill of 363.12. Now, here's what becomes very dicey. If you fill that gap and get accepted, our next destination isn't until 361.22, which was 9 wide. Back on the first. Then we have 360.66, afternoon pullback low from the 30th. Below that, we don't have anything to 359.17. And here's the real important thing. That's a weekly low right here. And then filling the gap at 358.82. It's only a 35-point gap right here from the 24th. So the bulls start exposing themselves to some levels that the bears and these algos are going to start searching if they get acceptance below this 8-day balance. So game plan for this morning. Well, if we are to gap lower, depending on the size of the gap, I would go with that trade on a short. And if the gap fills, I would get out. But the simple point is, there's really not much. If you get acceptance back into yesterday's range, you could easily go and travel back up to at least J and K's low, if not values low. So if you gap lower, and it fills them out. If, on the other hand, we don't gap lower, we open somewhere towards the middle or bottom range of this buy tail and then take out yesterday's low. Again, I'll take the short to go fill this gap. So those are two short plays early. Long play as of right now, I do not have one. Again, if you're to open inside yesterday's range, if you want to take a long play against yesterday's low and the bottom of the balance low, you can. Right? Your risk reward is okay. You will be buying with lower value, that's for sure. But if you take out yesterday's low, you're certainly going to take out this low, and I'd be out of the trade if you take out that 364.20 level. Again, early plays. Volume so far, 600,000, so not bad with 70 minutes to go. Nothing great, but not bad. Chart-wise, last month's high, 364.38. We're trading at 364.30 right now. Such a visual level. Any acceptance back into it, and then all we are is accepted back into this 4-month balance, and all we did was stretch it to the upside a bit. So, again, it's a monthly. It's only December 11th, so you do have time, but you don't want to start getting acceptance into here. Weekly, so far healthy. One time framing up. This would be 6 weeks unless we take out last week's low today. Anything's possible, but if we don't take it out, it will be one time framing up for 6 weeks. However, just like you didn't get a lot of distance in these 3 weeks, well, these 2 weeks, again, all you did was stretch last week's high and back into it. So the question is the trend starting to slow? And then on the daily, 8-day balance, bears are attempting to come out of it. If they come out of it, fill the gap, and come back in, again, nothing's changed. It's really just in balance. However, if you come out of it, fill the gap, and get accepted back into November 9th range, again, one day doesn't make a market, but you have to keep an eye on if they start getting sucked into this entire 14-day balance, where the ultimate goal would be the bottom of it, which is around the 350 level. Good luck trading today. Have a great day. We'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.